Good evening. Welcome to the live Facebook every Wednesday night. And of course, tonight will be a VSA360 dashboard how-to tutorial. So welcome. So we'll be covering some of the specialty feature of VSA360 tonight. And it is going to be the insider guide and selling. So we're going to be looking at, and this is one of the features that we've been talking for some time already. Now, of course, those of you who have joined us for our how-to tutorial part of our VSA360 onboarding, and you have seen early on, we have done the dashboard, the VSA screener last week. We're going to be looking over the VSA360 Alert Center, but tonight is the focus, which is this focus here will be our VSA insider buying and selling guide. So that will be our primary focus. And of course, those of you who will be watching this in our so-called tutorial later on, so you can always watch this and perhaps get some new findings which you will never get in here. And of course, for those of you who are with us tonight, our live Facebook, I'd like to welcome you too. So tonight, insider buying and insider selling. Now this is again one of the underlooked benefit, I would call, which is available for most of it. And a lot of the information that we have are so-called legal in a sense. So no doubt we call it insider buying and selling, but these information come from the Bursa, Malaysia, so-called public announcement, all this filing, when any insider buying and selling, they would have to file it in here. So this is already part of the requirement that you usually see among the when the substantial about 5% of the share, right, owning 5% of the shareholder would have to make an announcement, else they are liable for a fine, which is against the law, because when they buy and sell anything which own more than 5% of the company, they have to make this declaration, and those information are public information and they will be captured in the VSA360, and that's how we are able to obtain. And what we do is to extrapolate them into our charts, then you're able to see it. But what makes it very unique is our so-called Pentagon Guider together with all the insider buying that's the focus we'll be looking in here. Okay, so let's go on. So what is the difference between the VSA screener that we've seen for the insider buying and selling differ from the others? We will get that soon. Of course, many of you who already seen our Pentagon Guider screener, which last week I did talk about this. This is looking into the stage 1. I believe I just want to highlight it, assuming this is a stage 1 and then goes to a stage 2. Okay, so let me just label them again, and this will be the Pentagon Guider stage 1, okay, which is the accumulation. And then you have the stage 2, okay, markup. And then you also have the stage 3, the distribution, okay. And then finally we have the stage 4, okay. So what we are trying to do here in stage 3 is to avoid the kind of distribution. And I'll share with you where does Pentagon Guider look into. So stage 4 will be our markdown. So when we look at the Pentagon Guider, we are targeting this area here. This is our area entry point here. So we always want to be cautious when the market about to move down. Now, when we look at into the insider buying and selling, they can be everywhere, generally sometimes at the distribution. But what we do know is generally most of the time when just before they mark up, okay. And of course, the audience who is listening tonight, if you have any share, we can view through the eyes of the insider and buying and see if there's any or not. So from the point we are trying to say here, what we're trying to do is trying to find detection whether there's insider buying here. Okay, insider buying or selling, all right, at stage 1. That would be always the best. So if you can find up in stage 1 just before the market move to the stage 2, that will be great. So this is the premise where we are coming for. We want to look for some sort of insider buying at stage 1. Now if you look at here, if on stage 3 insider are selling, okay, so at stage 3, then this is the part where you feel that you may want to exit, because if insider are selling, that's where you also want to sell too. So this is quite important where the market stages are, because when we look into the chart shortly after this, you're able to extrapolate them down. So take a picture of this one, and of course for our own member VSA360, treat this as a tutorial in some way. All right. So one of the most active fund manager in the year 2019-90 is no other than Peter Lynch. Now he said very, very succinctly, okay, so he said that insider may buy and sell their share for a number of reasons, but when they buy them for only one, they think they will rise. And in many ways, you know, it's right, but it cannot be right all the time. It is right for most of the time. I would say 75%, 80% of the time it's right. But there are times also when, you know, insider buying, especially if you look at Lagenda, one of the stocks later on we'll look at it, just remind me, the audience here, you will also see that there's a lot of insider buying into this. So when insider are buying, sometimes the stocks are not there, they're just going in there to accumulate these shares and holding while the market is going higher. Okay, now the UPM, one of the students, they did a very, very good report. This is a slightly older report from 2003 to 2008, but it's still relevant until today. So what they did is they track number insider transaction, which is 5,799 transacted over 70 KLSE. And what they found is effect of insider trading. They found that insider profit through these studies, they found out that they can actually make unusual market return. All right, and that's what we are trying to do here. You know, we are exploiting this, knowing what the insider doing, and hopefully we are able to gain from somewhere from 3% to 30%. But the period, right, this is the concern here, from 8 months to 3 years. Now you have to ask yourself, do you have to wait for 8 months to 3 years before the kind of result, right? Generally, if we think that market's going to go up, insider generally will buy a bit earlier. Now we want to wait the most is about 1 to 2 months, and that's about it. You know, we don't want to stay too long, because if you look into here, the events is up to 114 days, which is almost 3 months, and you can make a pretty good return, 3.2% abnormal return if you own the securities from the event, the day of buying, up to almost 120 days, which is about 3 months in here. All right, so that's the research that we assigned, and from this basis we use this to look into insider buying using the insider buying and screener. All right, so if you look at our VSA360 insider buying and selling, we also have the call to buy by the analyst. Okay, so the call to buy by analyst looks into the C and B. Let me just take this out of the way first so you can see it better. This is where you see the blue mark here, call to buy. So we are looking at here, that's a call to, let me just reverse this again. That's a call to buy. That's another call to buy. That's another call to buy. So that is the analyst call to buy, because we in Malaysia, all right, I noticed there's still a lot of generation of people relying on analysts. So when analysts say, hey, it's time to buy, you buy, all right? But we all felt the result is a bit mixed. Some done very well, some has sort of struggled a bit here. But then again, this is the basis that we're going on. If you look at to call to buy by our analysts, we'll be looking at this. Then we have the call to sell. So call to sell, we generally has there's really very little. We don't get it very a lot. A call to sell, right? Then we have the call to hold here. Okay, call to hold by analysts. We can see it's a black mark here. Okay, call to sell. That's the one, right? And of course, then we have the insider buying. right? And we can mouse over it later on. You will see when the mouse over later, that's when all the information coming up, and also the so-called slight pinkish to red is S is selling in here. Then we have the transaction off market, and others are like bonus issue. All right, so these are the labels that you will see in the Trade VSA Insider and buying. So that's a little bit of good information ahead of a time when we talk about next. So you can see the power of insider and buying. This is a nice spread chart over some time here, right? Before CY Park, right? There were lots of buying, and pretty much what they say earlier on. You can see here lots of buying. The study also shown it's close to even up to 114 days. Okay, 114 days, right? But so you can see from here, using 114 days from the study, so we are looking back to 3 months from the day the market started to move up. So again, in this example, we use CY Park. It moved from 40 cents to $1. That's almost a 200% move from that. And that's why we use this insider buying and selling to our advantage. And also you will notice during that time, there were not many analysts only covered. So you can see from here, the information, there's only one analyst to call to buy here. That was the starting point when the market started to rifle in January 2023. All right, so next we look at another example. Okay, that's hit high after 1 month. Okay, so time to take a next one. We have Toyo. Okay, these generally falls into the what we call the penny stocks, the small cap stocks below 1 ringgit. They work pretty well in here. So this one is up 58%, previous one is up 150%. So you know it pays a bit of attention to it. Again, if you look here, buying, and then the market started to go up. And also we want to coincide with the green pentagon, and that's pretty much how simple we want to use the insider buying and selling to our advantage. Again, the event here is about 115 days, so you can see this one really goes up in here. So let's take a look at the insider buying and selling on the VSA360. All right, so make sure you log in into the VSA360, and you will probably be greeted by a welcome sign of the inside. So where is the insider buying and selling? So you'll scroll over to the main dashboard, and next thing you'll see is the screener. Then we have the insider, Bursa Insider. All right, click on that one, and it will take you to a screen. It will get updated, but let's go to the more recent one here. Okay, because right now the market is actually going through processing, because at 9:46 is going through processing. So this will be updated very shortly. Unfortunately, let me just bring up the older chart. Okay, let me just bring up another example. We just wait for the processing to be done, and then you will probably see it because it will go through it. So usually you get a chart like this. Okay, the insider buying and selling. You have the stock name here. Right, now the key thing here is to look at individual names. We want to be looking at individual names. We are not interested in the institutional. Like this one here is institutional, which is KWAP. They buy and sell a lot of time. We are specific looking for owner. Okay, owner or business name, you know, and some company, you know. All right, those are things we are looking at. Okay, those are the company. Okay, we want to avoid the big institution. Okay, big financial and retirement. Okay, institution, right? Buying and selling, because they buy and these are KW, AP, EPF, lagi apa. Then probably you get some, but if you see a fund manager buying, that's a very good thing. So I'll put it under here, and also a fund manager buying, that would be a good thing, because that's usually because the EPF is so big, they come in and come out. So some of the time they just go in and support the market. So these are the one that you want to be looking at. Okay, this one is good. This one not so good. Okay, we want to avoid this one. Okay, so here we pay attention to the names. Okay, we just have to wait until the insider buying and selling completes itself. Let me just refresh this again. Right. Not yet, it hasn't finished yet. So we'll come back to it. So here we are looking at the insider buying and selling, but no problem. We'll get to the screener in here. So we have the date change. This is the date when they buy and sell. So if you look from here, so generally this means the buying. It happened on the 2nd of September. So you can see in this example, right? Let me just, here you can see we have Air Credit List Fund crowdfunding PTE. So to me that kind of give me a flag. So it's a company buying, some sort of company buying, and the amount, the market cap is only 81 million, which is quite small. And then the unit they are buying, right, is 56.3 million. So that's almost 20% of the market cap. So that's very substantial for McLean. So these guys must be like what Peter Lynch said, when someone buy the company, especially this amount, so the value is important. So sometimes the value is very small, like 10,000, 20,000. Those one you don't want to think so much about. When it's 23 million, 1 million, 2 million, you really want to pay attention to it, and it pays a dividend in here. So you can say buying about 2 million, market cap is 883 million, 160k. Generally, if you see for owner and business name, they generally be a bit smaller lah. Sometimes they are like members or sister, brother, or the son or the daughter of the owner of the company can be buying too. So those are the one you want to be paying attention to. So once you get hold into the insider buying and selling here, you can pay attention to those too. So there's only a couple of important criteria here: the name change, right? The date, the unit, market cap it's important to see. And then also next one is the not to forget is the industry. All right, the industry. So generally, I would think that if you look at YTL, did the YTL bought it when the data center came in? I'll be back to that, right? So the industry here may be a bit late already by the time you look into it. So some of these people, they're buying way ahead. So when you buy this, let's say you're looking at construction, or you're looking at property, generally you'll be seeing insiders selling because they already topped it and they want to sell. And then the next question is, how much is the unit that they are selling and the value in terms of ringgit? Okay, the value in terms of ringgit in here, it's all important. So these are the things that you want to be looking at and paying attention. Okay, so let's refresh this again. See if we get it or not. No, not yet. It's not completed yet. So next thing we want to do is to go over to some of those company that we talk about. So assuming our insider is populated after the evening processing that you usually see on the previous slide, then we just go on to the individual chart here. Let's hit it one more time, right, to see whether the insider is done. Okay, so it's not. Then you just go on to some of these. So just now we're looking at McLean, okay, technology. So you want to scroll down to the insider buying and selling. So from here onwards, we can open up this chart, which look into the Robbie chart. Then you go back to 6 months, right? There were no buying. There's only here, right, out there. This is the 56 million buying, and then they were selling. Miss Yo, Miss Lim, right? Miss Yo, Miss Lim. So they actually sold it at the high. And you got to ask yourself this reason. Was there a negotiation to buy this company, McLean, at 56 cents? So who are these beneficiaries? Mr. Lim, right? Miss Yo, a lot of them, or it's a family member, basically family member selling. And these guys were really buying it. But the stock has since move up a lot more. They didn't buy any, so maybe some of these are already benefit when the stock were around 15 cents at that time, right? So this is just one of the example to look at it. Okay, going back to the example that we have here, let's look at Opstar. Okay, so next one we can look at is Opstar. So Opstar. Okay, now this one is interesting. Open it up again. Okay, Opstar had some, go back to 6 months, there were some selling here, buying. There was a call to buy, but this was a bit too high already. Call to buy by Kenanga. Okay, there's a call to buy by Kenanga Investment Bank. Okay, those are the same company, I suppose. 172, it didn't go up to 172, 150 plus. Then there is a call to buy at 170. Again, 31st May, they're very gung-ho. Kenangan, maybe they're supporting this. But there were a lot of selling. Mr. Tan sold it. Mr. Tan sold it here. So there was only one buying in here. So at this point, there were only one buying, Mr. Ng Meng Tai. So Mr. Ng Meng Tai, and what you want to do is, if you check Mr. Ng Meng Tai, click on that one. That will tell you who is the owner? Or is the founder. Okay, he held a position of Altera Corporation. All right, so 33 years in IC design and microcontroller chipset. So this is a pretty. Let's look at the fundamental of the company. PE a bit high, ROE is 10. So they've been around, and if you just mouse it over, you can see they're in a circuit. So this is benefiting from the IT. Right? But it's mid cap because you can see the market cap is sort of coming to it. So on that premise, will it beneficial? I think then we just have to use the support of the company. All right, the support right now will be around $1.25. We do see a lot of some of these maybe owning 5%. Remember, these are owning 5%, and you can see Chia Hong Wah. These are siapa ini electrical engineering, it's a professor, CDEC professor, 29 years old. These are all pretty much company owner. Meng Tat, I think we did that one, right? Let's look at Tan Chong Chia, e-business dissertation, another lecturer, compensation, is a director. So these are all already make it kind of boss, right? Opstar, test board, design, Three Musketeer, they founded. These are the three owners lah. So they are cashing out lah. So you can see now these fellas are all cashing out. Tan Tia, and they are selling, and then Ng Meng Tat buy back 2 million here. So they sell at the high, and then they buy back the low. Makes sense, right? Yep. Okay. So you can see over here, they bought 25,000, 49,000 right at the bottom. So they do know when they buy low here, $1. When they come up to here, slightly above here, they will sell. So even the owner are trading the company too. Okay. There's another company we all can look at is KGB. All right, let's take a look if there are any insider buying, which is also quite kind of interesting to look at. So you can look at the KGB. You look back to last 6 months. There were a lot of buying, a lot of call to buy at 385. You can see here buying Mr. Sun, Yin Wing. This person is buying a lot. Let's take a look at the owner. Owner are the big boys, Palace Star, Sunlit. So I do think that this is just some individual. There was some transfer here. Sun Yet Win, all right. Sun Yet Win 50k, 20k, right. So this person has been buying, but other than that, so only this individual in here. But there was a lot of call by the. There's a lot of there's a lot of transfer. So, right. Transfer out. Mr. Gunn is one of the owner. I remember this. Right? Mr. Ong also 115k here. Okay, so I need to make my mouse smaller because else it will block. Okay, here is Grace want to look at TNB. Okay, let's take a look. TNB is very institutional lah. Okay, TNB is very institutional. Tengaga. Okay. So that one you probably can't see much. Okay, and so you can see that that's why sometimes we don't want to look at this one. There's just too many of this one. RCE cap is better. Okay. RCA cap has gone to 290. All right, let's open it up. So 6 months ago, there was only a call to hold, call to sell only 240. Right, and you go back to 9 months ago, there were none. Okay, there were none. I'm sure there was some 12 months ago. Right, there were none for RC Capital, but previously I did see some of the person buying it is. But I will check the system and figure out whether these are true or not. Okay. Okay, if you have any stocks you want me to take a look, those are the one. Thank you, Nora, for coming by. Okay, let's take a look at our insider buying and selling, whether it is completed or they're still updating. Nah, it still be updating. Okay, but remember, members, do go back, log in and check out the insider buying, as the market now is still undergoing the in here. Alright, so we can take a look at APB. So whatever comes out in the buying and selling, so just do some investigation. APB, okay, resources, and you open up here. This one interesting. Remember earlier on, we saw the Opstar, the owner, they go in and buy. So this one here, APB do what? What do they do? Fabrication, engineering, aircon, power supply. Those will be interesting for data center, right? It's a loss-making company, right? Negative, right? But right now, we do see some buying by the siapa ini? Liao Wei Get, the same owner. Kang Wei Luan, Liao Wei Get. Okay, who are those? Let's go there. Only Liao, no Liao here, right? What's the other name? Liao. Chua. Any Chua? No Chua, right? Liao only this guy only in here. Yap Swee Seng. Okay, this probably is the CEO lah of the company. Oh, it's in where? Batu 22, Jalan Titanium. Okay, so these are all the steel company in here. But other than that, the company has been coming down from 180. Liquidity is kind of low. It's a very small cap stock. It's only 176 million in here. All right. So that's why you go over to the insider report. You want to see the market cap too. All right. So market cap is 180. So it's very, very kuchi red. Whereas Opstar here is slightly better. All right. Because 883 million. The other one is NCT. It's also okay. You can see here. NCT is 853 million. BJ Corp is a big one. Vincent Tan is buying. So let's take a look at BJ Corp. Okay, so you can go on to BJ Corp. All right, and you can see BJ Corp. Yes, there's a lot of buy. So let's open it up to like the remaining. You can switch to okay, 9 months here, and you will see there is a lot. So Vincent Tan buying 500k, buying to 500k, selling, daughter selling lah. Daughter selling, maybe she need it for honeymoon. Not honeymoon, for her YouTube. Content maker, the daughter, and Cressy Tan Sek Ling. See here? Yeah, he's been buying a lot. The daughter been selling. Okay, so you can see that, buying, and then the one selling. Yeah, that's about the story. But it still continued to go up. BJ Corp in here. So Green Pentagon has been in for some time. In my personal, it's 2.1 billion. You know, Berjaya hasn't been, doing well over the last couple of years. But right now, the story probably has changed. All right, Yi want me. Let's look at Kosan also. Okay. So Kosan, Kosan a lot of selling. Okay, let's go to open up. And you need to open up in your desktop. You can't see on the phone. So you can see, wow. Oh, Edibin been selling. Oh, okay. EPF. So who has been buying? EPF buy, EPF buy. Call to buy. Affin here. Call to buy was very high lah. Call to buy $2. Okay, here. Why do you release it here? And the price already so high, up to $2. Okay, interesting enough. Here was call to buy 235. Target lah. Target is 272. Okay, 272 is somewhere around here lah. So right now a lot of selling. Let's look at Axiata. Is it Axiata? Or is it Axis? Oh, this one. Okay. Axis These are all institutional. Like you can see institutional, very boring. All EPF only buy. Call to hold, another one here, and sell. But you get the strategy in here, which I've talked about in here. All right. So I don't want to take too long because tonight is just a how-to tutorial on our insider and buying. Let's check one more time whether we will get our screener in our insider. No, it's not updated yet as the system's still going on. But usually it should finish by 11 o'clock. All right. So that's all we have for the how-to tutorial for insider buying and selling. And for our members, VSA360, once you log in, make sure you check it out in the system. And it's all in the, let me just go back to where I am now. Yep, into the screener and under Bursa Insider. All right, so that's all I have for tonight. Thank you for coming. We keep it short for tonight in here. And don't forget to join our Telegram, right? And also our YouTube channel for more information and trading experience that you do. That's all we have for tonight. Thank you for coming. Bye.